We're live.
Oh yeah.
It seems we do these episodes Saturday evening now. It's kind of interesting. Kind of like I would call these like the week recap, the week cat, like kind of bookend episodes. And I'm really excited for today's. Probably going to be a little more casual, if I'm going to be honest. Cage has never worn a long sleeve shirt as long as I've known
Ever.
him.
Well,
And
not like a button down. I have a little see button downs, but look, a little DJ Ski, little Tops collab, little Bleecker Street, little Bleecker Trading.
it's a cool design. It's a cool design. It's
Little Babe Ruth.
is that your guy?
I
Who's
mean,
your
I
favorite
guess.
Yankee of all time? Favorite, like not performer, just who's your favorite?
I don't. What does that mean? Favorite? I don't. I mean, Claudel Washington. I mean, like you gotta remember when I was a kid, it was different Yankees. Man, it was Rick Cerrone.
Right, you could have said like Don
Don
Mattingly.
Mattingly, those guys. My favorite to collect is Babe Ruth.
I didn't say that.
Well, favorite to collect Babe Ruth, but no, the favorite. I mean, Don Mattingly, I guess. If you grew up a Yankee fan in the '80s, Mattingly was the guy. Mustached, bad back. So I get that.
I like it. So today, guys, I for my play, I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. I'm gonna give you 6 players that I think are kind of a little bit under the radar or started the year slow, that have potential to trend up. So they're just gonna be straight players, and you guys could go out and do your own research. So that's
I have the most surprising play of ever,
Of
ever that I've ever given.
What
That's
is it?
You're just gonna have to stay until the end, but it's one of those. It's gonna shock you. You will fall out of your seat, but I'm very excited about it.
Okay. Well,
And it's a
I wanna
number
tell you guys an anecdote, a
letter.
lesson from my life currently happened this week. And I think it'll help some of you guys because I got a message from someone in our audience, and it was something like, man, I don't know what happened. My cards went down 30-40% over the last week and a half, and I don't know what to do. Like, it was, and I empathized, and I wanted to have a conversation. I said, send me some of the cards you had, and it was like a Blue Velocity John Morant. It was, I think it was like a RJ Barrett base. And I said, well, were you in profit for those cards? He said, yeah. And I said, well, why didn't you sell? And he said, well, I listed them on eBay. And it's funny, like I wanted to say something back to him, but I actually experienced something really similar. And it reminded me, like, so I was in NFTs this week, and I also made a profitable bet. And, people are congratulating me. I said,
Right, you were right. You were right
right.
on it. You picked something at a price,
Yep.
and the price went up.
Right.
And I'm like, oh man, how you gonna spend your money? Is it gonna be hookers and blow? Is it gonna be a trip to Cabo, which is like basically already like
How
it's like
do
a
you
trip home?
think? How do you think our audience views me? Because you know the real me, and you position me in a very fascinating way.
Yeah, well, they're just gonna have to get to know you. I mean, with 500 episodes, it's just like the first date. They're gonna have to get to know the real you, I guess. No, but the point is,
Don't believe anything Cage says.
you don't know, right? So I'm like, I'm celebrating you. I'm saying, oh man, great call. You made all this money. We're cheering. It's hey, look, Chik Fil A for everybody. But did it actually happen?
You're a wild man. You are a wild man. So, and why I bring this up? So we have NFTs and sports cards, but the exact same principle. You made what you think is a winning bet. You're sitting here feeling like you made the right play, but it's it kind of comes back.
People even patting you on the back for it, right? People even counting your money for you.
Yeah, I don't like that, by the way. But rest at the end, not in the middle, and it reminds me of the importance of making a decision and either staying in that asset for the long term and riding out. You can do that. But if you're going to make a decision to sell and make sure that sale goes through, right? Oftentimes we're kind of caught on the fence. We're like, well, we'll list it on eBay. I'll put it up on OpenSea, and if someone gobbles it up, great. And then you're kind of sitting waiting, wishing, as my man Jack Johnson would say, and it's a disservice. So I learned that lesson this week, and so did one of our listeners, and it was kind of cool that we were going through it together. Make a decision. Are you holding for the long term? Cool. Are you selling? Make sure that sale goes through. And even be willing to take 10, 15% off, because if the prices go against you, you would dream of taking that 10, 15% off price. Right.
So is that the leave a meat on the bone kind of thing? Or is it, the lesson learned, like don't try to squeeze every bit of profit out of it? What's the lesson?
Well,
Not
my
able to time it.
frustration actually with my sales were that I did think I left meat on the bone. Like I listed them very fairly, and still they weren't taken. But yeah, don't be scared to give more meat on the bone than maybe you think you should, right? Because like it's so subjective. Like I listed it at the floor. Maybe I could have taken 0.05 off the floor, and
And
really
then,
made a discount.
all right, well, I mean, that way you figure you're not fighting with everybody else who's on the floor price, you know.
But
And
it's less
for cards, right? For cards, the story here, I guess, is what, if you got that Barrett PSA 10, you're into it at $20, and eBay it's currently selling at 50. Maybe you sell it at 45 instead of 48 or 49.
And I'll be honest, I'll add one more thing, and I'll actually kind of pivot into something else. Like hustle. Don't just put it on OpenSea. Don't just put it on eBay. Put it in Facebook groups. Put in the effort to make sure that sale goes through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put in the effort. So it's not just listed on eBay at a discount. Go to Facebook groups and say, hey, guys, here's the post. Here's the listing. I'm selling this now. Willing to negotiate. Hustle a little bit to make sure that goes through. And it was funny, by the way, like Sasha T shaved his beard. I was bantering with him a little bit on on IGDMs. And I said to him, I'm like, man, like the hobby's so interesting. Like people don't realize how hard other people work to get where they are.
Oh yeah.
And I respect that how hard you work. Like I always see the kid at Bird Bank Cards.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you know what he said to me?
Just nobody says that. Everybody thinks it's easy.
Everyone thinks, do you know how far he lives from Burbank? People think he lives around the corner. Take a guess. How far?
An hour.
90 minutes. 90 minutes to 2 hours away.
How many like In-N-Out burgers on the way though? That's like an easy 2 hours. If you can stop at In-N-Out burger like 3 times on the way.
And LA traffic. So like
so he's in LA.
I don't know why I'm saying like LA
so
traffic.
It's like 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes away, but it's really 11 miles. Because it's LA. I get it.
Well, I said LA traffic. I've never been there. I don't know. It sounds horrible.
Walk in LA. Listen, there's a grind, right? And he has stuff he sells in person. He sells on his story sales. He does all that. So the grind is obviously there. I get what you're saying, man. I mean, the point is, you can make the right call and still not be able to squeeze the profit out of it. And a lot of people are seeing that with cards now too. I mean, they may be in profit on some cards, but it's hard to get liquid on some of them. And
it's funny, right? Like when everything's going good, you just think it's gonna go good forever, and it's like you almost like it's so easy. You just
I told you that saying. When the going's good, it's hard to envision it's not being good. And when it's going bad, it's hard to envision it getting better.
But there's also this kind of weird period where it's not going good, but it's not going bad, and it's kind of like a little bit of like it's up a little, down a little bit. I think that's where the true hustle and effort shines through. I think that's where you can separate yourself with putting in the effort to make sure you close deals. Because here's why that's so important. That liquidity that I would have gotten from those sales, I could have used in projects that I knew are going to be winners, and I didn't have that.
Yep.
So now and that's so interesting how that like chain of events works. And guys, I'm bringing this example up because it's the exact same thing with cards.
Yep.
I had the same experience 1 year ago. And so it's not just that one sale doesn't go through and you don't take the profits off the table. It's that you can't then reinvest when good deals come up in front of you. And you're kind of tied in and you're kind of in no man's land. And it's such a terrible feeling. So just close deals, put in the effort, make sure your sales go through, leave meat on the bone and move on. It's a lesson I learned. It's a lesson I hope our listener learned. We went back and forth, and I appreciate him bringing that up.
I got a question for the audience. I mean, you could answer it too if you like, but I don't know if you're an expert on this. I know we have some experts out there. By the way, dropping a lot of movie stuff in the last couple of episodes. I'm getting some great messages about the movie.
I don't know if you heard, I'm going to be a speaker on stage with Dana White and Josh Looper and kind of some big wigs. So I don't want to say I'm an expert. Other people have said I'm an expert, so I don't know. I don't want to speak about myself like that.
An expert about this though.
Just kidding, guys.
Chik Fil A, spicy sandwich or regular sandwich? That's what I want to know from people. And then
both. One of each.
What do they put on it?
You have the
is it Chick Fil A sauce, Polynesian sauce? Like, how do people like it?
You dip the sandwich in the sauce. You do not put the sauce on the sandwich. You don't open that sandwich. Leave the sandwich closed.
And what's the combo? Because currently what I'm doing, guys, this is going to be a great episode. I'm powered by Chik Fil A right now. I did this one. I like it because I created almost like a sweet and sour here. I got a spicy with Polynesian sauce. So it's like a spicy chicken with a sweet sauce that I'm dipping in. Oh my goodness, it's like a collision here. I don't even know what to tell you. I'm on fire right now. I can't wait to give my play.
Do you have anything to say that you didn't have the discipline or the self-control to not eat that sandwich
No,
before?
no. Yes, I do. Here's the discipline. I have 14 sandwiches and 180 nuggets about 5 feet away from me.
No, you don't.
I do. I can show you
Don't
the
show me.
camera.
Don't show. You have 14?
And I'm only going to eat this one, right? Because dinner came, we were going to do our episode, and instead we listened to Gary Vee for half an hour. So my food came, and it was hot, and it was there. So yes, the discipline is I will only eat one. There's the discipline. So you look at it glass half full. I look at it, smash the glass over your head, and be thankful that I'm only going to eat one.
I'm grateful. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, I'm going to be thankful
You got to thank
for this episode that you only ate one chicken sandwich and like 34 chicken tenders and one or two waffle fries.
No, I'm only going to eat this one.
I want to ask you.
So good.
Are you guys out there that when you see an influencer, a celebrity, an actor, an athlete winning, you kind of deep inside have a little bit of like, oh, that's not me. Damn, man. Or are you guys the people out there who, wow, that guy's winning? Can I, backpedal from what he or she has done and learn from their wins and losses, weaknesses and strength, and try to replicate that model?
And there's a third option, a little bit of both, because we're human. You're allowed to be a little bit of both. You could be a little jealous and envious and also say good for that person and still try to figure out how to do it yourself. Because we're human. And that's me, by the way. I'm option C. A little bit of both.
I'm curious what people say. I don't know where they'll post. They'll maybe add it to the comment.
Listen, it sounds like your 6 players is going to be fire. So I'm going to throw mine out there and just get it going because I'm Chik Fil A up right now. I'm hopped up. I got to tell you this play. You are going to fall out of your seat. Are you ready?
I think what's awkward is I want to do a 60 to 90 minute episode and you want to do a 12 to 20 minute
No,
episode.
we're already 12. We can't do 12 because, mine's going to be at least 10 minutes.
Well, you're smelling the Chick-fil-A. The Chick-fil-A is more valuable
I'm good.
than value to our audience.
I got my one and I'm good. I'll stay on for 4 hours with it. Be like, okay, as long as my phone doesn't die, we can go. We can do our thing.
Dude, how much fun did you have? So, guys, yesterday we interviewed Slabby Sosa.
Oh, it was awesome. That was such a good time.
Hamilton.
Rip Hamiltops. I got it right, guys. I got it right.
Rip Hamiltops. And Peter Pac-Man.
Slabby Sosa and Peter Pac-Man.
RPS crew.
Rip Pac Slab.
It was one of the most fun episodes we've done. What was your impression?
That was great. They gave me a name.
What was your name?
I'm going to be Hot Dog Frankenpax.
Cage told him a story about how he participated in front of
like a regional hot dog eating qualifier way long time ago. And we're going to eat some hot dogs. But here's the best part, guys. I don't want to ruin the episode because it's going to come out part of the Mint Collective in a couple weeks. You guys will see it sometime in December. But on Andrew's behalf, I called him B-Rabbit. And I said that he clearly has watched 8 Mile way too many times. And they were the free world with Papa Doc. And Andrew is challenging all of them to a rap battle in Las Vegas. And this did happen as part of that episode. And they accepted. And I guess that makes me Mekhi Phifer. I can kind of moderate it maybe. Andrew wants to be the moderator, but I've reversed the roles here for us. It was a fun episode.
It was a fun episode.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Cage also asked questions like this. So my co-host famously said, LeBron has never gotten better since entering the league. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. It's exactly what I said. I can't wait for that to come out because people are gonna be like, "What are they doing?" It's a lot of fun.
You'd feed me to the wolves.
I would. Listen, if it's good content, yes, that's the deal. It's all about the good content. Our audience.
Controversy sells, right?
Our audience deserves it, dude. There was no controversy. That is a great episode. Talk about good story, right? Family. Those guys are great guys. Those guys do it the right way. They open cards with their kids. They give back to the community. Check out some of the videos on their page, right? And job at best. That's a first round NFL draft pick. A guy who has been to the top in not just one sport, but then afterwards went to the Olympics for his country and raced against Usain Bolt. Talk about just crazy stuff that we get to talk about as a sports card podcast, an alternate investment podcast. It's you finish after that half hour, 40 minutes talking to those guys, and you got to be like, this is awesome. You know, like
Yeah.
it's cool that we get to talk to these guys and then we get to bring it to Luca Nation. So it was a lot of fun. It really was. All right, so
And
you know
guys,
what?
we've been telling you, and we've been telling you guys about the Mint Collective January 20th in Vegas. They're going to be there, so I highly recommend you guys come.
You know,
You know what was surprising about? I thought they're so young. I'm surprised all of them are married with kids. That was surprising to me because I thought they were like early mid-20s.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I did catch one of them say, you know, we all have spouses or partners. So, you know, one of them may just have kids and not be married. I don't want to, you know, make judgments, you know. But yes, they had all settled down with family units and the whole deal. But yeah, 100%, man. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. You know, it seems like they were raised the right way. It seems like family was important for them from the beginning. It seems like they've been close knit, all of them. For quite some time. They've had some good role models. They mentioned a bunch of them. And now they're giving back to their community, you know, teaching, coaching. You can see them with videos they're doing packs with the kids that they, that they have now. So it's cool stuff. And, I can't wait. We have Dan Fleischman coming up also as another interview with that. And Mint Collective is just another one of these things where, I mean, HGA, our sponsor, allowed us to also talk to a bunch of, cool guests. People who played in the NFL, just amazing folks. And this is just another example of, of just another cool thing that we're able to do because of you, Luca Nation, because of the amount of people who listen to us, because of, how you guys have built up, this community. So I guess a big thank you to you. Yeah, sorry that I ate a Chik Fil A sandwich, but I'm hungry and I'm a fat guy. You understand? You've seen me drink enough soda. You guys know. Plus, I need to power the brain. I got to do my research for tomorrow's Whatnot episode, 10 a.m. Sunday, where I plan to knock it out of the park. Four straight locks have come in for us on my Sunday locks of the week. So we're doing some good stuff here. Where my locks have been really actually locks. All right, go ahead.
Tomorrow's lock of the week is the Jets.
The Jets are winning. I am not running from that. I don't care if it's Joe Flacco quarterback or you quarterback. And the Jets are beating the Dolphins.
I think Joe Flacco might be even a better option, don't you think?
I don't think it matters. The Jets are coming out. They play for their coach. They like this guy Salah. I mean, they're gonna play. Their schedule is lined up. If the team can do anything, they have some decent talent, offensive weapons. I'm not running from that one. The Jets gonna win that game tomorrow. So. And guys, listen, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I famously have predicted now 6 straight wins for the Jets starting tomorrow. And I'm not running from it. I am sticking with it. And
Look at the big brains on Brad.
I can't bet legally, but if somebody out there wants to bet for me, we could do like a whole snowball thing. Put $100, then put 200 before we can do the whole doubler. Message me if you like. We can do it. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, give me your play because I'm getting bored. I'm hungry. I have Chik Fil A here.
I want to hear your play now. I've come down off of my Polynesian sauce high, and I am excited to hear what you have to share with our audience. And I can bring the episode home with my fantastic play.
Okay, NBA a little bit. So 6 guys that I think either started the season poorly, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Either were injured to start the season, and I think they're going to really complement their team.
Michael Porter Jr.? Michael Porter Jr.?
No. Oh, actually similar, but no. And guys that were rookies last year that, may have not had success. So I'll go through the list. And again, the play might not even be the exact guy. I'm going to start with this guy. It might be betting on that team. It might be playing the main guy because the team's going to start winning. This is a guy, this is probably my favorite one of all of them.
James Wiseman.
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks, okay.
Hand injury, I think it was a wrist injury, was out all season. And this is a classic example. Guys, you could look for this in the future too. Sometimes it's not about the star player coming back for the team. Sometimes it's a rotation player filling out a rotation that makes everybody's life easier. And this is what Dylan Brooks is, right? There were guys that like Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, DeAndre Melton, who aren't really ready to be second options. Dylan Brooks is a second option. What a second option needs to be able to do is if the main guy can't put up 30 that night, he has the skills to do it. Chris Middleton's a great example of that. He's not going to put up 30 because Giannis is a beast. But if Giannis's game's off, or the defense is just honing in on him, he can do work. Dylan Brooks is that guy. Dylan Brooks can put up 20, 25, 30 points. He could catch fire, and that alleviates. Now the defense could, they hone in on Ja. Dylan Brooks is there. Oh, now those two? Jaren Jackson Jr. has a field day. Desmond Bane has a field day. Kyle Anderson has a field day. Little things like that matter, and I expect this Grizzlies team to do really, really well. And it's going to make Ja's life easier. Having another shooter, the lane's going to be open. So that's one guy.
Like it.
Dame Dollar, man. Who started the season worse than Dame? Probably no superstar.
Dame, you know what's funny? Dame, I like Dame, and I want to hear your thoughts on Dame, but I think Dame did something to hurt his. I mean, is there anybody in the league who has more street cred than Dame? I mean, he just looks gully, right? He looks like he's out there. He's rapping. He looks like and then I watched the other day on TV a Modelo commercial comes on, and he's at a barbecue, and he's got like dad socks on. He's got like the 3/4 crew socks. They're like halfway up his calves, and he looks like he's he looks like. You got to look at this commercial. I'm like, is that Dame? Like, what is this street cred has just been washed away from him? Like, he looks like
you think he doesn't look good?
Yeah, he looks silly. He looks like he's at a barbecue. He's got little khakis on, little khaki shorts on, and half. I'm telling you, he's got like half socks on. I mean, I'm probably reading too much into it, but I'm like, he should be at a barbecue with a Modelo and like, a Glock. He should be just playing. I mean, seriously though. Like, you see the commercial? Look at this commercial. It's a Modelo. It's a Modelo commercial. It's a beer commercial. They show him. He hits a 3-pointer. It's Dame. He's got the cred. Now, I watched the commercial. Maybe you share the screen if you want. That way, people get the benefit of it or whatever. The commercial Modelo. We're not paid, sponsored by Modelo. They're a cool brand. I like the beer. And they got a little Modelo, the little dark beer.
I'm gonna mute the music so that this doesn't get taken off.
Cool. I'll do the music. There he is. Yeah, Dame. So he's got. Look at him. Wait till the end. They'll show him standing out there. So he's shooting. Dame. I think he's got multiple commercials. This might not even be the right one. Okay. Yeah, maybe it is. This is a very long version. He's gonna hit the 3-pointer, and then the commercial ends. He's having a beer with his friends. It's Dame time. Look at him. He's got like he's wearing my clothes. Look. Stop it right there. Go right back. Pause it right there. Look at it. Keep going. No, you went too far. Anyway, yeah, you're about to hit it. Ready? Right, here, pause. Boom. Look at that. Come on. That's like my backyard with like one of my boys. He looks like a 50-year-old, like Uncle Larry here. What is this? That's Dame Dollar? You see what I'm talking about, right?
I think you bring up a lot of really good points on today's episode. I'm not sure what's a better point, that or the right way to eat a Chik Fil A sandwich. I think it's a tie.
Dude, listen, the Chik Fil A. I'm telling you, that spicy heat of the spicy chicken sandwich and the sweet Polynesian sauce. That was nice right there.
There's two things that I think will happen.
All right, Dame, shoot.
One, I think that Dame I don't think he's going to get back to his form of when he was like just tearing shit up. But I think where he is and his best is a huge delta. And I think he's going to be at 80% of that. But here's where I think he gets really good. I think he's so pissed that they hired Chauncey Billups.
Okay.
Like, I really do. Like, think about this guy who's been loyal to your organization. He's wanted to win. He's been patient. And you basically bring in a guy. I don't hate Chauncey. I just don't see how Chauncey could come in and garner respect of Dame right now. And he's been pretty outspoken about how unhappy he is. And I can see Dame getting traded.
Wow. All right, that's interesting. Chauncey Billups, I only have one Chauncey Billups story. I went to school with a kid, law school, or a kid who went to college in Denver at the time Chauncey was playing there. Uh-huh. He was a waiter at Denny's. He said Chauncey came in and brought a whole crew with him and ran up a bill at Denny's, after probably a night of drinking and stuff like that, $1,000, $1,200. And did not tip. No tip. Yep.
Yeah, he's an asshole, man. Well, I don't know that, but I'm just taking Dame's word for it. Next guy.
Next, number 3.
Denny Avija.
Denny.
Yeah, Denny's good, man. And I don't think he's ever going to be a superstar or an all-star, nothing even close, but he's really cheap. His cards are pennies on the dollar. And to me, his development is like this. He's pretty athletic. He's tall. He's long. He's rebounding. He's good on the defensive end. And he's slowly getting his confidence in the offensive end. Because believe it or not, like playing in Israel is not nearly as – in Europe is not nearly like playing in the NBA. It's way faster. So I think he's catching up the game speed. Next.
Booker. I like him. You guys know. But,
yeah.
he needs to get a shot.
I think D-Book is just one of those guys that you're not going to respect his game until you just see that he goes off for 60, 50, 30, 50, 40, and puts up, 10, 20 games of 30 points or more. Because he's developed so quietly. He's not on social media. He's not always like, look at me. He's a little bit out of sight of mind. But dude, trust the guy's game is he's an assassin. And he's young and he's getting better. And he's getting
25. He's 25. That's the best. That's the best part. I'm glad you brought that up because I was watching the Dallas game. They brought that up the other day. He came in the league so young. People forget. I mean, he had 3 years, 4 years in the league, hitting shots and scoring 60 before my guy Devontae Graham was even in the league. You know what I mean? So people forget that when if he's going to be scoring like he's scoring and he does it, pretty. This is a guy who could really run up some big numbers career-wise. I mean, people don't think about that when they start investing, but think about somebody like Booker. We talk about exit strategy, right? And we often do it like hey, you can exit him now. If he makes an all-star game, or you exit him at the end of the season before the playoffs. This is a guy. You also talk about exits on your cards for your investments long-term. This is a guy who may make a run at like the all-time scoring. You know what I mean? Because he's been doing it for so long. Luka is another one that has that potential also if he stays healthy. But Booker, you're right. He does it quiet. I think that's sometimes thought of as a knock against him. I even made a post last year about how he was a ghost. Like he just kind of disappeared when the team needed him.
In the finals, right?
Yeah, he gets lost sometimes, right?
Well, I'll tell you, I think that's one of the best things that you could happen. Kobe airballed, I think, 3 times against the Jazz. The thing that you don't realize when you're in the finals for the first time is how much more intense the defense is and how much more lenient the refs are with contact, right? So what's really hard for a finesse guy like Booker is being able to play through contact in the finals. So he's not going to be at his best. But having that experience, I expect him to be kind of like a Harden. At 27, 28, 29, 30, he leads the league. And I think he's groomed really, really well by a lot of really, really smart people. So that's another.
And having CP3 there this season and last season is only going to be a good thing for his career development, I'm sure.
Last 2 guys, I'll go Bradley Beal. I think the Washington Wizards are going to be in a few playoff games this year that are exciting. And I think that he has potential to put up 40 and 50 points. I don't like Bradley Beal as a long-term investment, but I do think this season he might have some splashes because this is a good team. They're going to be winning, and I think he's going to be putting up numbers. So him, and then last guy, Grayson Allen. Allen. I think he's going to be a big. So Kirk Colesbury. I can't remember the guy's name. You guys know him. He used to work for ESPN. Really, really intelligent. And I'll find his name here in a second. He does awesome like Instagram charts and like who scores the most from which places. Believe it or not, Grayson Allen has the most 3-pointers from the right corner, and he's a good 3-point shooter. So, and I think he's going to play a big role for this Bucks in postseason when they get there. I don't think they should have given up PJ Tucker. I think that was foolish, but I think Grayson is a really nice addition. So that's kind of what I want to do for you guys today. Just not cards, but players that I think have potential and are trending up short term and long term.
Or any of these guys cards you would recommend? Somebody like Denny Avija, who's so cheap and has potential upside and really no downside?
If I were to rate these, I would say I would buy Booker first. I would buy.
I mean, if you think Dame's getting traded, Dame would be a nice buy because his cards are beaten up.
I would say Booker, Dame, Avija, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, and then Dylan Brooks. I would actually might play Jaren Jackson Jr., Dylan Brooks, or Ja Morant, whichever one you think is a better play. But I think this Grizzlies team is going to be a problem with him. He's also a really good defender.
Love it. All right. So, I mean, we got some great basketball stuff. Guys, so, people who have been with us for a long term know that my way of investing in cards is often not going with the easy way, not going with what everybody is going with. And sometimes it burns me, right? Because, this stuff is not rocket science. It's supply and demand. And, to have demand and cause prices to go up, you need people who know about a card, and people are going to be looking for a specific card. And like I said, sometimes it burns me because I buy the wrong card of the wrong people, right? But sometimes it works out. And if you go into it with the right thought process, that the other cards of this person have started to move up a lot, And people will eventually, I believe, move towards looking for other options. And sometimes you hit it out of the park. I mean, when I bought my Pele 1958 alphabet card, it was not the one that people were going after. I wound up selling it too cheap, but now it is being held out as the card for him.
What about Tatis?
Tatis. Yeah, I
We were
mean,
buying Tatis at 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks
Tatis.
a pop.
But so a better example, right, would be when everybody was on Mookie Betts and people were buying his Topps Chrome. I found the Prism card, which you were able to buy when I brought it to you guys for single dollars. You know what I mean, less than $10, and then grade it in bulk, and it was $150 for the PSA 10. When the Dodgers were making their run 2 years ago. And people are like, what's going on with that? And like he has a Prism card, and it was a Prism card before his rookies. It was his first card. It's not licensed, and obviously, if you're looking at Mookie Betts, that Topps Chrome rookie of his or his Topps rookie, they're the way to go. They're the ones that will have the demand. But if you're looking for Betts and those cards have already run, this was another way of playing it. And I'd like to make the argument that it was a real rookie, even though it wasn't licensed, the whole deal. It was before those Topps cards that actually came out. Jose Abreu had one in the same set, right? And if you look at that 2013 draft set, by the way, Carlos Correa has a Prism card in there too, which is a nice sneaky play as well. You can pick that up for a couple bucks. Max Muncy has a card. I mean, it's just an interesting 2013 Prism draft pick set. Excuse me. But that's not what we're going on to play today. I told you it's going to knock your socks off. A Carlos Correa draft pick would not surprise you. This will surprise you, right? So, ancillary. One of my favorite Tiger Woods cards is his 1996 Sports Illustrated for Kids card, perforated, right?
I love that card.
Which came several years before his Upper Deck card, right? And it's an interesting way of playing it. And Sports Illustrated for Kids is something that's known, right? It's a known brand. It's a perforated card. It's something PSA grades. And it's something that people pay a lot of money for after Tiger's other cards, his 2001 autographs, his 2000 Upper Deck rookie cards. When those things started to fly, all of a sudden, guess what? That Sports Illustrated for Kids card got a little notoriety as well, because how do you call that not his real rookie, right? I mean, there's arguments about it, and the demand will be for what the demand is, but clearly that card got some run. That's the best example I can give you of this, because, guys, I was going to just do this for myself. I was just going to start buying these for myself. I've done this a couple times now, and it's because, we tell you we're going to bring you value. I'm not going to buy these now. I'm going to let you buy them, and I'm going to let you pick which way you want to go. But if you can't beat them, you join them. And if you're not going to join them because the demand is there and the supply is drying up, causing the price to go up, then you join them, but you be smart about how you join. And you guys are going to be joining F1 buying. You're going to be buying Lewis Hamilton cards today. So my co-host has famously talked about, hey, it's only a year or two. 2019 is when Topps came out with their F1 cards, and everybody's listing them. F1 Lewis Hamilton rookie cards. Lewis Hamilton won a Grand Prix 2008.
I don't know what a Grand Prix is.
So, you know what I'd love for you to do?
Just kidding.
I'd love for you to type in 2009 Lewis Hamilton. 2009 Lewis Hamilton. And you know what you're going to see? You're going to find. Just write in eBay. Yeah, just write in eBay. And you know what you're going to find? He also has a Sports Illustrated for Kids card.
Wow. It's his car.
Yep. Bottom right of the magazine, bottom right of it.
Oh, no.
Several of them PSA graded. It's a Lewis Hamilton. But I'm going to go a step further,
Stop
guys.
the show. I'm going to go buy these, Cage.
Well, you can if you like. They're a couple $100. They're 200 or best offer. There's a couple of them PSA graded, a couple of them BGS graded. He's also, if you take a look at it, look at that, 2009 Top Trumps. If you want to go that way, our pal Yamwax famously has the Elon Musk from the same set as Top Trump set. But if you go, I didn't buy this, right? But one actually just sold in the last couple of days. There are cards of Lewis Hamilton before that. I happen to like this one because it's from a major brand. People know Sports Illustrated. But if you go into completed auctions, you'll see Lewis Hamilton Red Line. Little mini red card with Lewis Hamilton on it. Look how young he looks on it. So Lewis Hamilton Red Line, if you type instead of Sports Illustrated for Kids. I think it was a 2008 Red Line for him. So point being, there it is right there. So people picking these things up. Red line rookie card. I believe it's not on eBay. I believe he has cards that go back as far as a 2006 racing set. Right? There's a 2006. It's like a next set. It's a cool thing. You can take a look. I did some research on these things. It's a foreign language, on a lot of these cards. That's
This is a sick, dude. This is a sick card.
Pretty nice, right?
Do you think you could get it graded?
Pretty nice card, right? I think I don't know if you can get that graded. I'm through PSA. I don't know, but I will wager that some grading company will grade that card. And I started researching this play the last time you talked about Lewis Hamilton, and there were a couple of those that were still available for sale. They've all since sold. Not to me, guys. I promise you. I told you I'm not buying these. There's one a year before that. I think in 2006 there's a racing set that you call his rookie card. And point, guys, is this. If you don't want to spend the thousands of dollars on the Lewis Hamilton Topps Chrome, but you want to get in on Hamilton,
which isn't even his rookie card,
and you want to get in, so the definition of a rookie card, it's open to some interpretation, right?
It has the RC stamp. The first company to put an RC stamp.
No, that's not true. That's not true, because there are many years of decades of cards without the RC stamp on them. But the point is, it should be licensed and from a major company with widespread distribution, which I don't know that any of these are. The Sports Illustrated one's the one that comes closest, but it's like a perforated, sheet in a magazine. I guess you call it a card. But even that was 2009, and I've just showed you 3 or 4 examples of cards of him that came before this. This was an eye-opener for me because, if you believe the hype, Lewis Hamilton kind of came out of nowhere, right? I mean, who ever heard of him more than a couple years ago? Even, the most ardent, fans of racing right now, I didn't hear them talking about, Lewis Hamilton more than a couple years ago, and he was a winner. He was a winner for years, right? And he's got cards for over a decade now. I mean, look at that 09 Sports Illustrated. And I'm telling you, they're on right now, $200 or best offer. Available right now, $200. Not $200,000, not $2,000, $200 or best offer. And, you can search for these other ones. Guys, they will not have the demand of the Topps Chrome cards that everybody's going after. But part of that is because people don't know they exist. Did you know they existed before I brought this up today? Probably not. Right.
I was thinking, man, this is kind of one of those plays that we should kind of have a Patreon for. Like this is a researched play, man. This is somewhere no one is looking at, and we bring this to people free of charge. Yep. Nothing you're asking.
Yep. And you can get sneaky with this play too. You can buy the magazine. It's got Cole Hamels on the front of it from when he was pitching with the Phillies in 2009.
I would go Sports Illustrated because it's a known brand and
it's cool. It's known brand. Exactly.
It has the precedent of a Tiger Woods card setting record highs in that same set too.
Same kind of deal. Now, be careful, guys, please. I think in 2015, it may be, Lewis Hamilton had another Sports Illustrated for Kids card, which also predates a lot of this Topps nonsense that's out now. That is not really a rookie. But clearly, if you're going to go with the Sports Illustrated for Kids, go with the first one, not the second one. You'll notice because the second one's a little bit cheaper. But yes, this is a researched play. I did a lot of research on this, and I was about to deploy some of my own capital on this, but why not let Luca Nation do it instead? So there you go. F1, guys. You want to be in on Lewis Hamilton and not have to kill yourself buying all these Topps Chrome craziness. It's or if you happen to already own some Lewis Hamilton and you're a fan, you own the Chrome, why not add one of these for, $200 or best offer? And PSA grades them. We know they grade them because there are graded ones on eBay already.
That's a pretty awesome episode. Are you excited to go eat?
Yeah, man. No, listen, one was enough. I hadn't really eaten since this morning. I had a little bagel for breakfast.
Today was, I found Gushers at the store.
You ever had Gushers? Of course I have. Of course I have. Yeah, that's a good candy.
It's good.
That's a good candy.
Brings you back to childhood.
That's it. A candy that I miss from childhood is Razzles. Remember Razzles? Guys, if you're out there and you had Razzles, let me know. The Razzles was a cool candy. It was like a hard candy. So it was, but when you chewed on it, it became gum. Razzles. It's a good.
I've had something similar. Luca Nation, do us a favor. If you like this episode, please share it. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m., whatnot, for our NFL Sunday morning show, and then our fractional report in the evening.